This is a video solution for practice exercise 1. For this practice, we'll be working with the design building block assembly. We want to get started by creating a linear pattern of the component. So we'll change the pattern type to components, make our selection of the object, and then we want to create the pattern. For directions, we want to go along the x-axis, or we can select one of the edges of the block. We can begin dragging these out and zoom out as needed. We want to create 3 instances, and the distance that we want is 50 millimeters. Notice right now the distance type is set to extent. We're going to say OK. And next we're going to try another operation. In this case, we'll select the tool Move Copy. Move Copy will allow us to copy bodies and components. In this case, we'll select Components and we'll make a copy of the third brick. Once we select it, we can begin dragging it forward or in the -y direction. But notice that when we do that, what we're actually doing is moving the object altogether. What we want to do instead is we want to select the object and then we want to create a copy. After we select Create a Copy and we begin dragging it, we now have this extra copy. We're going to go a distance of -25 millimeters and then say OK. Next, we're going to create a linear pattern of our new block. Once again, we'll set the direction equal to the x-axis, and we'll go out a distance of -50. We'll say OK, and now we have 3 instances of the block in the original orientation and a new copy with 3 more. Next, we're going to use a new tool called Modify and Align. In this case, we're going to modify components, and we're going to go from, we want to grab the joint origin on the bottom of block 4. We want to go to the base of the position on block 3. We're going to capture the position and we're going to say OK. Next, we're going to repeat the process, but this time using a joint. We're going to set the motion type to rigid, and then the positions will be the same. For our first object, we want to go from the joint origin on the bottom of brick 5. And then the second position is going to be the top of brick 2. These are going to be rigid and fixed together. Now we want to test the moves, aligns, and components that we created. The original component is fixed in space. This is brick 1. It has a ground icon directly over the component. If we try to grab brick 2, notice that brick 5 moves with it, and that's because of the rigid joint that we created. If we try to grab brick 4, it's freely moving above brick 3. Neither of these are fixed in place or have any joint or rigid orientations between them. And we didn't do anything with brick 6, so it's still in its position from the linear pattern. From here, let's go ahead and save the design.